So today we're going to be doing an unboxing for the Reebok Ghost Smashers, which is of course a collaboration with Ghostbusters. Since there's a ton of detail that went into this for the actual unboxing, I'm going to swap the camera to have a view pointing down directly at the box so you guys can see all the close-ups and details that went into this because there are a ton. In addition to that, after I get these bad boys unboxed, I will show you guys what they look like on feet, so be sure to stick around for that. Before we actually get inside the box, there's a ton of detailing that was done to the outside of the box or the packaging just to kind of create a vibe or a whole feeling surrounding the shoe, which I think is really cool, so we're going to look over that quick. We have the Pump It Up, the old school branding for the Reebok pumps, and then we have Bust sprayed over like using a stencil. We have This Is How It Ends right here. There's a lot of pump branding on the box and the packaging and everything, though the actual pump feature of the shoe itself is just for looks. It actually does not work, as we will see some detailing on the back side of the box that even says do not pump. So moving on to the front of the box, you guys can see the Ghostbusters logo placed over the pump branding, crossing it out because of course this isn't pumpable, I suppose. No actual pump technology. We have Reebok branding, it says custom fit, I think. We also have less talk, more busting on the front, in reference to the ghost busting that should be done. As far as other features for the box goes, we have, spinning around on the back right here, we have this disclaimer where it says Ghost Smashers do not pump, they smash. So like we've been seeing with all the pump branding, I guess you could get confused, though once we see the actual pump technology. It's kind of obvious that it doesn't do anything, but it just, disclaimer, do not actually pump them. Also, as far as the entire box goes, you have this caution detailing here, a bunch of just spray painting. You see the paint splatter all over here. We have the stencil, the Sharpie marker writing here. It gives it a very custom DIY feel to it. So I think it creates a really cool atmosphere for the shoe to be surrounded in, and it's definitely a nice touch and creates a very cool box to house these sneakers. So now we actually open up the box, we get to see the inside. There's no branding or anything special on the bottom side of the lid, but you can see the shoes are wrapped in this crazy satanic ghost writing or whatever. I have no idea if this is an actual writing or what, but we have the center right here, almost like it's being contained by a spell, or this is withholding something, it's keeping the ghost back almost. So now we'll remove this protective layer, releasing whatever is contained inside, and it's actually wrapped really well. So for anybody who is interested, here's the wrapping kind of laying out. We have this central focal point where it was centered when we opened it, and then working outside we have this kind of circular design with all this writing. Got some stuff kind of blocked off here. I'm not sure how wide you can see, but this is a look at the wrapping. Moving on to what I'm sure you guys came for, we have the actual Ghost Smashers, and these are actually a lot better than I imagined they would be. The detailing and the quality, seeing pictures of them, they looked really cheap, and yes, the fake Reebok pump stuff, the pump technology that gets added onto the back is extremely cheap looking and kind of tacky, but it all kind of works. But this is removable. We have these slide options here, which I will show close-ups of everything as I talk about it, just in case this doesn't work or you want a even more close-up look at it. But the first thing I want to talk about is this actual pump piece. We have Reebok branded on the top, and then Insta on one side, and then Pump on the other side. We have a couple different outlets that we can actually plug these tubes into. On the sides of the shoes, there's only one given. You have one right here, and also one on the opposing side right here. And then as far as the actual pump goes, you have two inputs on the bottom and then two inputs on the top as well. So you can do whatever variation of that you want. And then the shoes themselves come with one red, two blue tubes, and then one green tube. I've seen a lot of people say this is supposed to mimic the Ghostbuster car, so that's probably the inspiration for it. Also, like I said, this is removable, so we can go ahead and remove it on one shoe. You just slide this piece up right here, and this little disc insert slides out. These are also extremely easy to take out. That's actually, if I was wearing these around and I wore it with the tube, I would kind of be worried about one of them popping out and not finding it, losing it. Swapping over to the other side, we just do the same thing, pop that off, pop the tube out, and we're good to go. We got the stripped down version, and this is the more sleek look at the Ghost Smasher. Also, going back to these tubes, I think it's kind of strange they only give you 4. Like, if you are really interested in this and you do like wearing these around, I could easily see you accidentally losing one or falling off and you can't find it. So it's kind of weird that they don't give you any replacements, though it would be pretty easy to make your own homemade replacement. So the next part I want to touch on is the actual Reebok logo that we have here, or the Reebok branding on the shoe, the main piece. This is usually done on like almost every pair of Reeboks. This one looks like it was normal, but like I said, they're going with the kind of like DIY aspect or like approach to the shoe. So you have this yellow painted strip over the whole thing, and then you have these diagonal black slashes to make it look like it's kind of like a caution sign. We have some paint drips here, and then also on the other shoe we have an even longer paint drip going on this side. So kind of a cool touch, a cool like DIY feel, you know, it definitely fits that vibe. Also important to note, only on one of the shoes we have this like circle kind of filling, and then also a bar on the inside going alongside those circles as they fill up. Moving on to the rest of the shoe, we have this Reebok Velcro strap on the top. We can see a index pointer right here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, I'm guessing for like tightness maybe it's supposed to indicate. And then moving on to the tongue, we have this Ghostbuster logo right there. The leather is really worn on the tongue, it feels pretty worn. We have a piece kind of coming off here, and then on the inside we have exposed foam, and that kind of goes along the whole top of the shoe itself. We have this kind of like exposed edge. So opening up the toe strap, which yes, this is an all Velcro shoe, no laces for you. We have this text right here on the inside. It says, "We're ready to believe you, dial," and then it has a phone line, and then also our customer staff is on 24-hour support, some stuff to go along with that. So we have that also playing into. I'm not exactly sure what the actual phone number leads you to. Another detailing that we have on this left sneaker are these symbols up on the top. We have this rectangle with a slash through it, and this rectangle with a black square in the middle. I'm sure those are like some product insignias, or they have some meaning. I'm not exactly sure what they stand for though. Another detail I want to mention is on the sole of the shoe. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but you can see there's kind of this like bubble out. I'm not exactly sure if that's meant to be there. I'm not too familiar with the original silhouette of this, the ones from Alien. Both of them do have it, so I would imagine it is intentional, but it just looks a little bit strange. I'm sure this will wear down pretty quick, this kind of like edge that's right there. Moving on to the entire sneaker itself, it's kind of given this worn aesthetic where the leather is yellowed a little bit. It might be hard to tell from the video, but like down here the leather is yellowing. On the toe you can see the leather yellowing a little bit. The sides have these kind of like fake scuffs going all around. On the front, on the toes, it's really apparent you have this like pseudo wearing. On the bottom, they also covered the sole with a grayish finish to give it kind of that worn look. So it all just really culminates together to make like a really interesting vibe for the shoe. I think it brings it all together really well. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of this pack on the back, though it is kind of cool. I think they definitely look a lot better without it, but you know, this is just kind of like a collector's piece, and you know, I do see the aspect behind it, and it's really cool that you can functionally like remove it and still use it and then put it back on. So I do appreciate it in that sense. Finally, to wrap up the video, these are just such cool shoes. Like all the small details that go into them and everything that was done to kind of make a nod to the Ghostbusters and create this entire just vibe that the shoe creates, from the packaging to the shoe itself, this detachable part on the back. You know, not only can you use this as a really cool collector's piece and like hang this on the shelf with the packaging and the pump on the back, but you can also remove all this stuff and you get a really easily wearable shoe that has a sleek look and great feel. As far as sizing goes, this was straight out of the box. They did feel a little bit skinny. As far as length goes, they felt pretty fine, like pretty normal or true to size. And there's a ton of cushioning on this. I mean, you look at it, all Reebok shoes pretty much, except for the like newer, really like athletic ones, usually have a lot of cushion, and this definitely fits in with that. Once again, just a really cool piece, and all the ideas and just like the creation that went into this is really cool. And you know, we get these collaboration shoes like Adidas has done Game of Thrones sneakers and like Star Wars ones, where there's really not that much from the source material that they're using. They just kind of change the color to match it and add like a little emblem on the tongue or like the side or something. But like, you look at this and it's easily recognizable. That's probably a Ghostbusters shoe. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.